Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the K. Lowry Moore Show. I'm so honored you guys have chosen to spend your time with me this evening because I know that you could be watching anything else, anyone else, but you're watching us. I want to say me. I have a phenomenal show. I hope you guys are ready. I'm just going to warn you. I have a powerhouse sitting right here next to me, Dr. Butterfly, Shantha Smith. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah.
Because you know I always want to call you
That is
something
right.
about but we're gonna be referring to her as Dr. Butterfly tonight. She'll let you know why we calling her Dr. Butterfly, and we'll get into some some real discussions. So this is one of those conversations where you got to be prepared. You got to just really, you got to open yourself up because sometimes we are just so closed off that we don't want to hear the message. And tonight, I really want you to hear the message. I like to joke around sometimes, but we're going to be serious tonight. But welcome.
Thank you so much. First, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate the
Oh, no
opportunity to share my message with other people.
I think it's very important that we pour more positivity into the community. I know a lot of people were so used to me talking about relationships and, gossip topics, but I felt like before we start talking about relationship topics, we need to talk about personal development,
Absolutely.
self-improvement topics.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell them a little bit about yourself, about you. I'm sorry, y'all. I had this gum in my mouth, so you have to just bear with me for a little bit because I'm gonna take it out on the slick tip. Yep, there we go. After being diagnosed with cancer and having a severe car accident, fracturing her femur in 6 places, and learning to walk again while 6 months pregnant. Wow. And becoming a widow at the age of 36. Dr. Butterfly knows a thing or two about transformation. Her current program, 40 Days to Transformation, is helping women through personal transformation in life and business by connecting faith-based principles to increase their impact and influence in 40 days. So why did you choose 40 days? Well, or is it just something that you just...
Well, it's interesting that you asked this because this is a faith-based program. If you read the Bible, you know that 40-day references is all throughout the Bible.
I'm a little behind on my Bible
that's
reading,
all right.
but we gonna get caught up.
No condemnation here, no judgment. Okay. When I took the journey myself, because I'm one of those people, I don't just tell other people about things that I know not and that I don't do. So this 40-day journey I took by myself.
Okay.
It was something that I had to do for me to get clarity on my purpose and what it is that I've been called to do. So I did a 40-day prayer journal, and I read this book called Draw the Circle, and it was a 40-day process. And as I sought God for clarity on what it was that I was supposed to do and how was I going to utilize my gifts and talents so that I can serve others, initially, can I just be transparent? I really just wanted to make some money. But then I realized that God quickly let me know that that was not what it was about, because the money I know will come through my service. But I took the journey by myself.
Okay.
And the book was 40 days. And so I started doing research in the Bible about what 40 days meant. And it had so many different elements to, like, God didn't even perform his first miracle until he had a 40-day that was alone for 40 days and 40 nights, and his first miracles weren't performed until after that time. So 40 days is so significant, and that's how it came about.
Okay. So we're going to go back to you overcoming tragedy. So Dr. Butterfly and I, we met at an event, the Profiles of Triumph event, where, we talk about what we've had to overcome. Most of you guys that follow my story know that I lost my mom when I was only 10. And, being such a little person, I had to learn life and learn. I didn't even know, we don't know what self-esteem is at that age. So, so we were sharing our story. And just when you think you have, a story to tell, you realize that it's someone else that, have just as much or if not more going on. So give them a little bit about what you had to overcome to get to where you are.
So you read some of it in my bio, but I mean, some of the things that were not there. After I graduated from college and being diagnosed with cancer right away, as soon as I came home, I experienced significant loss from my brother-in-law killing his child's mother and committing suicide, then losing my grandmother, my grandfather, my father-in-law, and then my sister-in-law. Her car went airborne and crashed into a KFC. And then after that, 2 years later is when I lost my husband unexpectedly to a heart attack. So, and that's why after that incident, I really needed to sit down and be reflective of, okay, what is all of this, what are these experiences for? Like, if I'm still here, there has to be something and some reason to go forward. Like, and the thing is, I always like to help people. I'm a teacher by trade, an educator. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, and I just love helping people. It's what I do. It's part of my gifting. And so I know that I see so many people going through so many things, and they think they're alone.
Right,
and
absolutely.
by me sharing my story, I hope to share with other people that you're not alone. We all go through stuff, but we still have to exist. And not only, and I don't want you just in a place of existence. I really want you to thrive in the life that you have, because a lot of times we get caught up in, these are the things that happened to me. And I really had to turn that thing around and say, it's not that it happened to me. It happened through me to share with someone else that you can go through all of these experiences and still stand, and that you don't have to bury yourself in the sand, and that it is okay, and that, you know, through it all, I've had people to stand in for me when I didn't think I could make it. I had people there, and so that is how I started speaking on your environment and who's surrounding you, because going through all of those types of life experiences, I couldn't have done that by myself.
Absolutely.
I needed the right people in my corner to support me along my way. And I hope to be that for someone else who experienced great tragedy, or is just in a place like they want to give up, or they can't do it, or they don't know how, or they don't know where to begin. They're at a loss. And I hope to be that beacon of hope or light, like you can do it and you can make it. You're not here by yourself.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that I stress to a lot of people, because a lot of people, you know, we walk around like we're okay. And then we stop piling those things on top of each other. And you know what happens? At some point, it's going to tip over.
Right.
And in our community, we don't like to talk about therapy. And that's something that I think that we all could benefit from. You know, like I said, when I was a little girl, losing my mom, and then I got hit by a stray bullet, and people are like, what? And I'm like, you know, you see the news, but you never think you're going to become the news. And so, you know, you got all this going around in your head, but you still, like you said, you still have to live, not just exist. And so I applaud you for telling your story. I didn't want to tell my story because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. But then I was encouraged with, you know, Charles Carey. Hey, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
You better be watching. He was on, he's been a guest on here a couple of times, and he kept saying, you know, you need to you need to share your story. Not for you.
Right.
Someone else needs to hear.
Someone else is going to be helped or healed through the sharing of these stories, and that they say, you know what, if she can go through all that and still be walking and still, you know, holding her head up and being positive and making it through her day, and not just making it. I hate to just say just making it, but going through life excited about where I am and in this journey. You know, I feel like as women, and that's my audience. I cater to women. I would love to cater to men, but I'm not a man, and I feel like my calling is to women. I know, because I know this story personally.
Right.
As women, we feel like it's a badge of honor to be superwoman. Like, and in this society today, everything is about this badge of honor that you get from being able to take it all, be it all, do it all.
Absolutely.
And, you know, with that mindset, you're going through and you're seeing other people like, you know, I'm a superwoman, I'm a single mom, I do it all by myself. No, first of all, it's not okay. You don't have to do this thing called life alone. And so I really want people to know to stop wearing these false badges of honor that you think are okay, that really are to your detriment. Because what's really,
that's a great point.
It's false strength. It's really because, you know, if I get spiritual for a minute, we don't have to do life alone by ourselves anyway, you know, because that's what our Heavenly Father is for, is that we can cast our cares on Him when things get to be too much. I can remember sitting in the bed, not being able to walk, 4 months pregnant. I remember what I had was the Bible and my stories, thanks to my grandma who came over and take care of me. I had the stories. I was able to just jump back into the stories that I watched when I was a kid.
Okay.
But I read the Bible. I read the story of Job. That's what gave me strength and helped me make it through. You know, so I just want people to know, like, you don't have to be everything to everybody all the time. Where do you rest your weary head? Like, who do you have to help build you up, to help move you forward on this journey called life?
And you know, and like you said, we shouldn't wear that as a badge of honor. And unfortunately, when we do that, people put us in this you know, position of strength. But then when we fall into pieces, they don't know what to do because they're so used to coming to you or looking to you for strength, not realizing that, you know what, I'm having a moment.
Right.
And so I know a lot of times people will, especially on social media, they don't think it's okay to vent or whatever. I think it's okay to a point, but we all need some type of outlet.
Right.
So what did you do other than, I know you read the Bible and you had your stories, but what other things did you do to kind of help guide your mind to, you know, to get to where you are as far as you're an educator, you have your PhD, you have a daughter, you have two daughters.
Yes.
And, you know, how do you, because, I mean, life is hard. So how do you, or what is your outlet for you to balance all of these things?
Well, I'm an avid reader. Okay. I love reading. I'm one of those people that can be reading 2 or 3 books at a time. I have to force myself to, make sure I finish this one first and then go back to the other one as a reward. But I fill my spirit with a lot of positivity, positive music, positive audio CDs, positive books. I feel my spirit constantly because the world will inundate you with negative messages. Yes. The world will inundate you with you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough of anything. So in order to combat that, you have to feed your spirit with positive information, with however you get that. You know, I get it through reading. You might get it through just meditation, just being still. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, I started to incorporate into my time, and that started to make a big difference in my life, is taking some time to just be quiet and still and think. Because we don't get enough time to think. It's always something busy, especially as these superwomen. You always have a million things to do. Because while I was going through all of these things, I was also running a very successful direct sales business. I was also working on my PhD simultaneously. So life happened in the midst of me having to live life, do life, and still experience tragedies and move forward. So, and it's a process. I didn't really start to really understand what I needed until after it was all over, and I looked back and said, oh my God, you know, it was one of my mentors. I went to Crush the Stage Live with Delator McNeil. He's one of my mentors. And it wasn't until that I went through Crush the Stage and wrote down my final speech and wrote down my story that I even said, good gracious. Yeah. I didn't even know, because I was so busy going through it. I had no idea that I had been through. Yeah. You know, I've always heard people like, I don't know how you do it. Well, it certainly is not by my own strength, for sure, because I don't know how to do it. I've been slayed, just fall out. I don't know how I could do it. So I just think that you really have to make time and space, create time and space in your day to really be still, to really just really think. You know, I used to be a big talker. I used to always be talking on the phone. I was a big talker. And then I just like to be quiet sometimes. And that's new for me, because I used to always be on the phone.
Trust me, that's me. And people, I'm not going to say they took it personally, but they noticed the shift. Because like you said, I just want to be quiet now instead of always being on the phone. Girl, did you know? And girl, what happened? Guess what? Sometimes you just need those minutes. And I had to learn how to do that myself. Just calm down, just quiet my mind, and take time. Just take time to just, you know, be quiet
and be still.
And it is hard to do. But now that I'm a master at it now. Sometimes, girl, I don't even want to get off the sofa. I'm so still. But okay. So you have a program, 40 days to transformation. So tell them how you came to be Dr. Butterfly.
Okay. Well, the interesting thing is when I was in my direct sales business, I waited till I was an adult to get a nickname, so that's kind of funny. I always wanted a nickname, and and everybody's like, "Well, what's your name?" And I'm like, "What's your nickname?" I'm like, "Shantha." This is all I got. So, actually, I won the Butterfly Award from as in the direct sales business that I was in. The CEO gave me the Butterfly Award, and because I was working on my PhD, people started calling me Dr. Butterfly, and it just stuck, and I liked it.
Okay.
And you think about,
I
when
love
I
butterflies.
represent what a butterfly represents, the metamorphosis. I know that my story isn't finished, so I just was like, this is perfect. I love it, so I just started using it myself.
Yeah, I love butterflies. I shared with you the short poem that I wrote about just going from the caterpillar being afraid to venture out to, developing into a butterfly, and you can soar. And that's just how I look at life. It's like you have to constantly evolve.
Right.
And so, so what message would you like to share, to women? Because they always say that women can't get along and we don't do this. And but we recently went to a Sisters Network conference, which I think it was a great event of sisterhood. But what message would you share to women who may not have that sister circle, who may have struggles with other women?
Here's the biggest message I can find one. There are women out here waiting to support you, and it's all about putting yourself in those environments. But you first have to be vulnerable. You have to be open to receive, and then also I'm really big on changing your mindset. So stop telling yourself that there are no good women
absolutely.
out here.
With that bell, where Renee's bell? I don't see the bell.
Listen, I'm telling you, I don't have that experience. Or everybody that comes in my life, they want absolute best for me. I've never said that, like, oh my goodness, women are out to get me. When people say that, that's foreign to me.
Okay.
Because that has not been my experience, because I don't believe that to be true. I believe that when I meet people, they see the light in me and they know that I'm genuine, you know what I mean? And then if you are having, I see people on the book, okay, that can continuously have these issues. It's time for some self-reflection. If that keeps coming in your circle, then you have to reflect on what it is that is happening with you, within you, or outside of you, or around you, that is causing you to continue to have that experience. Because everyone's not having it. And so you really have to begin to look at yourself. One time, I remember growing up, I was not a good student. My mom, I went to 4 elementary schools growing up. We're not going to go there, but I remember my mom giving me this information. I've gone from school to school to school, and I always be like, well, it's the teacher. And I swear, I remember my mom saying, Shantha, at some point, we're going to have to look at you, because it can't always be the teacher. And I take that in life, too. And sometimes if everybody's saying it, there might be a nugget of truth in what is being said. But change your mindset. There are people out here that want to support you. I know the women in my circle, they want the absolute best for me. And I know that even if there is somebody, this magical person, or the haters that people talk about, I don't believe I have any haters. And that's just the way I look at life. Even if there is that magical hater out there that doesn't want the best for me, they can't win.
Right.
There's nothing that anybody can do that can stop me from what it is that I'm going to achieve, because it's already written and etched in stone that by design I have a purpose. And as long as I'm on my mission, not looking at the left and to the right, and stay on my goal, there's nothing they can do to stop me anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
That's good.
I read this thing once that talks about you stay in your lane. Worry about yourself. Other people, how other people feel about you is not important.
It's none of your business. I had to learn that myself, and I like to say that too. Stay the course, but stay in your lane. It's just certain things that I had to learn, that I don't have to respond to everything. That was big for me, because as soon as I saw something on Facebook that I didn't like, I was doing the little Kermit type. I don't know if you've seen the little video. They said when Kermit is responding to an angry. I felt like I had to chime in. It didn't even matter what the topic was.
Everything.
Because I had a strong opinion about everything. And so now
you can't have that many opinions.
And so now, I don't now. Now I'm just like, oh, okay. and it's throwing people off. But it wasn't until I shifted that doors started opening for me, because I think you remember the story I told. I don't know if you remember, but I was promoted earlier this year from a supervisor that we couldn't even get along 5 years ago, from the same person. Mm-hmm. So I watched my growth, because I knew that I kept saying it had to be something that I have to learn, because it can't be just her. Right. I'm contributing to this somehow.
Right.
And so, like you said, once I shifted that, then I started seeing things happen. So that was I can't even explain it, but that was a turning point in my life. People don't even realize that, because I was so used to being able to do what I want to do and have my way. And the moment that the challenge came, I was, always ready for this fight. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm not fighting anymore. Mm-hmm. And things shifted. So I strongly believe in the mindset shift. Mm-hmm. So what are some things that people can do other than, the books that they read, mm-hmm. Music? What can they do to shift their mindset?
I'm glad you asked. No, really, let's talk about what people can do, because books just give you knowledge, mm-hmm. right? You read a book and it gives you knowledge. It's the applied knowledge that makes the difference. So what you can do is practice. If you learn something, practice it.
Absolutely.
Put it into rotation right away. When I do trainings and things for my teachers, I say, when you leave here, I want you to pick one thing that you're going to do, mm-hmm. because I want you to already have it ready in your mind that I'm going to execute this immediately. Because what happens, life, if you don't execute it right away, it's just going to go into that file way in the back of the recesses of your mind and never get executed. So practice, whatever it is that you know that you want to work on, or however you want to grow. When you read the book, it's not just enough to read it. Read it and practice what it is that you want to do, because that's when you'll see the growth. Mm-hmm. I know for me, one of the things that I really work on is just making sure that my mind is free. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you can get inundated with all these messages. I have to work on it constantly. I have to practice the strategies myself. I don't just tell people about it. I'm actually literally practicing it. When I say I'm saying my affirmations, I'm literally doing it every day. So to keep my mind straight. So just putting it into action is going to be what makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. Put it into action and then repetition.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because the thing is, this is a long time ago, but I remember when my late husband and I, we were having some marital issues, and we went to counseling one time. And after we went to counseling, I remember riding to my sister's house. We were in a car, and we got into it, and he was like, "This counseling isn't working." And I'm like, "No, we just went one time. It's not working because we did it once." Of course, like, it wasn't supposed to solve all your problems that day.
It's kind of like going to the gym and then getting home and say, "I didn't lose any weight yet."
Right, because
you got to keep going.
Right, I ate good one day, and now I'm waiting like, why aren't the pounds falling off? Right. I worked out for 1 week solid. Why aren't the pounds mm-hmm. falling off? So you really have to give it time to really see the fruits of your labor. Mm-hmm. I know one of the things I love to tell people is I'm the biggest person. I love to sow my seeds and reap my harvest at the same time, but that is not how it works. Mm. When you sow your seeds, you have to wait to reap the harvest. You can't plant it on Monday and have your beautiful flower on Tuesday, but this is the age of instant gratification.
Right, the microwave.
We want
society.
Things immediately,
mm-hmm.
and we've been conditioned to see that, what we think. I mean, people look at Cardi B, they're like, "Oh my gosh, she just blew up out of nowhere." Well, Cardi B has been working hard for a long time. We're just seeing the fruits of her labor.
I don't even really know who she is, but I think you and somebody else had to tell me who she was with the one song that I have heard, but right. I didn't know who she was before that.
Yeah, and so it may appear to us that she just came out of nowhere. When I first saw her on a reality TV show, I had no idea who she was either, and I was telling my niece, and she was like, "You late." She's big on Instagram, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I had no idea who she was, but she's been doing this for a long time, and so it's just getting comfortable with planting those seeds, and then being able to reap the harvest later, and know that it is coming, and don't quit before it's time. Don't quit before you see. I know I was working with one of my clients this week, and she had to put her big girl panties on because I was to say she was ready to change course. This has happened with several of my clients. We create a plan. We say this is what you're going to do. And then I promise you, the very next call, they've shifted the plan. They've either want to quit the plan or they changed the plan. I'm like, well, what happened to the plan? I thought we were all gung-ho about the plan, and this was the plan. But what happened was some type of fear set in on
Absolutely.
they didn't know how to do something. They didn't think it was going to happen, or they didn't see how it was going to happen. Life started happening and throwing those blocks in the way. Brick walls are not meant to keep you out. They're really made to see how bad you really want something. So, you can't quit before it is time to see the fruits of your labor. If I don't say beat a dead horse. At some point you can reevaluate, but as soon as you start, as soon as you go. Some people even go in looking for the exit sign. You know what I mean?
They looking for a way out
At the beginning.
I know this not gonna work, so let me just go ahead
you.
and see. So you already put that in the universe.
You've already, and I love the direct sales, man. Really opened my eyes up and helped me to be a better entrepreneur. That's the benefit of direct sales for me. And it wasn't to get all those millions of dollars that that everybody's claiming that they're getting, but really it taught me how to be a solid entrepreneur and what it's all about. And one of the things, one, it's about relationships, and two, I got to see how people react when starting a business. People will come in and be like, well, I don't know if it's going to work. Well, you already said, well, I'll see. They spend $600 to get a kit and be like, well, I don't know if it's going to work. I'm not going to put $600 up for something that I'm not sure is going to work. You better get your mind right,
Right.
But people go in, and it's almost like that is their safety. It's like I'm putting this out there, so if it doesn't work,
I already said.
we already know. You're covered. You're not going to be embarrassed by failure because you're covered. You throw this. It's like this little disclaimer you're going to throw out. And so I've even experienced it my own self. Like when I switched from moving to direct sales into my own business full time, it was really like, it was easy for me to sell jewelry all day long because it was not my name attached to it. But as soon as Dr. Butterfly, Shantha Smith, PhD was attached to it, that brought on all types, because now my name is on the line. Now, I'm out here on, putting myself out there and having to be vulnerable and have to accept rejection because it's personal now, because it's me.
Right.
So it's a real thing. And that's why I love that I do, even through 40 Days of Transformation or my individual coaching clients. One of the things that's critical for me, people need somebody in their corner to help steer you back on course when you're ready to jump ship. Because you need somebody there. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame, and you need somebody to remind you that this is what you said you wanted to do. This is what you said this was going to do for you. Because we explore your vision. What is your vision for yourself? And of course, when fear sets in, or I like to say when we talk about the emotional cycles of change, when you go from that uninformed optimism to informed pessimism, when you make that's a steep shift drop. Like, I'm all happy about my one idea. This is going to be the one that's going to make me $1 million. And then reality starts to set in. Then what you going to do? You need somebody right there in your corner. Be like, no, we're not backing this train up. The train is moving forward.
Right.
Now, what can we do? What do you need help with? What is the actual problem? Let's get to the root cause of why you're trying to change direction now, which is usually fear. And we work through it. Like my client this week, I said, okay, this is the part that you're struggling with. This is the part you're afraid of. Call me when you get to that step, because I'm going to walk you through that part. You're not going to have to do that part alone. So when we isolate and pinpoint where the problem is, then you can move forward. Let me tell you something. That chick has been on a road. She didn't text me back to back every day since that call, just spitting it out. She just needed somebody to say, no, we're not quitting.
Yeah.
It's not okay to quit on yourself. And you need that accountability. You can't be accountable to yourself for some things. Sometimes your own accountability is good. But I know if you're like me, and I've had this happen because I have coaches. I don't just subscribe to the coach philosophy because I am a coach, but I have coaches. So when, so they can pull me back on track. But you need that person in your corner who's going to be right there, the guide on the side, the wind beneath your wings. I mean,
Absolutely.
You need that person to help you move forward and what it is that you're going to do. Because if you could do it by yourself, you would have already done it.
It would be done. So
it would be done. It would be done. And it's not done.
Yep.
So then we have to say, well, then you need to make an investment in somebody that's going to help you get it done. And I don't care who that is, but find somebody that can help you manifest what it is that you want to bring to life.
Absolutely. Then didn't I tell you it's going to be a lot of information? We're going to go to a quick break, but then we're going to come back and talk more about your program and how they can find you on social media and on on your website. So we'll be back in just a few minutes and take. I don't have my wine tonight. Normally I have. Normally I have.
They
wine.
had wine in the Bible. See, you could have bought wine. Wine is okay.
Right. So we're gonna just get into some heavy topics because I do want to ask you some other questions. Whether it's relationships or things like that. So anyway, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back.
For the night, understand that's kinda late, and I gotta get home to my son, cause he's so special to me. I gotta see him, I need to breathe him, that's my baby, don't call me crazy. I love the studio, but I love him more, let me give you what I got. So I woke up in the morning feeling fresh to death, I'm so blessed, yes, I went to sleep stressed, woke up refreshed, I'm so blessed, yes. Water in my face and everything is in its place. Peace of mind, even my grace. I'm so blessed. Yes. My grandma almost lived to see 92. I'm so blessed. Yes. My son was born healthy and beautiful. I'm so blessed. Yes. My mama's on my right side, daddy on my left. My son, father doing is absolute. I'm so blessed. Yes. And I know what I know. And I know what I know. Struggle gon' happen, it's just the way it be. Ain't nothing coming easily in this life. Sometimes you gotta work and you gotta grow and it gotta hurt. I'm sure you know, take a look around. Woke up this morning listening to this song, you're so blessed. Yes, gonna rock this joint all night long, you're so blessed. Yes, to be up in here with our hands up in the air, waving like we just don't care. We're so blessed, yes, yeah. Went to sleep stressed, woke up refreshed. Mama's on my right side, daddy on my left. I'm so blessed, yes.
Okay, so we are back with Dr. Shantha Smith, aka Dr. Butterfly. She is here to let you know about the program that she offers, the 40 Days of Transformation. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
So how you can go from, procrastination to action. So tell them about your the program that you offer. Her flyer is actually up on the screen there. So.
Okay, so the 40 Days to Transformation program is really about helping women to get started. You know, the biggest hurdle that many people face is getting started. That's the biggest obstacle. You know, we want all the pieces to be in place. You know, I know myself, I was a knowledge junkie. I told y'all I love to read books. So I need to read every book, get every piece of information, calculate the risks. What are the risks? I need to know everything. But meanwhile, I wasn't doing anything. So the whole point of the program is to get women to move to action on whatever it is that they desire to manifest, whatever goals. You know, I've had people work on their wellness journey, because, you know, everybody wants to lose weight at the beginning of the year, but they try to do it alone and they're unsuccessful at it. So whether it's weight loss, I've had nonprofits started. I've had a couple businesses, a pottery business was started, you know, whether it's career goals to help you move forward, wherever that thing is that you keep saying that you're going to do and you haven't started yet. And you know, it's your heart's desire. You know, you want to do it. You desire to do it, but you haven't get started. I help you get unstuck and move forward and take action, because anybody that knows me, you're not going to sit around me and be idle. You know, idle's hangings or the devil's workshop. What does it say?
I do know that.
Look, you know that. No, but like, I want people to have whatever it is that they say they want to have. So we make 3 commitments. We first make a commitment to God. People get up early in the morning, at least an hour before their day starts, because we talked about why that time is important, and really spend time seeking God. If you don't know what to do, then you need to have some time getting clarity on what it is that you're supposed to do. I always tell people, God is not playing hide and seek with your purpose. He wants you to know at the appointed time what it is that he's put you on this earth to do. I truly believe that. Mm-hmm. So, and if that is the case, then you need to be up in his face. A lot of times we have a monologue, which is, oh, everything's going up. Lord, help me. But there's never any time for anything to rain down, for him to pour into you. So you need to create that time and space in your day. So we make a commitment to God. It's this first commitment. The second commitment is to yourself. Stop putting everybody else before you. Mm-hmm. It is okay to be selfish. And I give people permission in the 40 Days to Transformation program to be selfish. Take this time to do something for you. Put your own oxygen mask on and say the life you save may be your own. So I give people that space and permission. They can say, hey, I'm with Dr. Buddy Fly for the next 40 days. I'm busy. I'm unavailable. And I say, you might be unavailable for 40 days, 60 days. Some of these people, you need to be unavailable for the rest of your life. Right. You know, you might need to chuck them the deuces. Okay. So the first commitment is to God. The second commitment is to yourself. And the third commitment is to the community. We have a strong community of women to support you in the program. So when we go through the process, you're not doing it by yourself. Because I told you don't have to do this thing called life by yourself. So what you're doing is you're in a community of women that are cheering you on. So those people who are worried about, well, I don't have anybody in my circle. Well, that's what this program is for, because I only connect myself to positive women who want the absolute best for me and the others around me. We want to see you win. That is one of my missions. I want to see everybody win. You know, I know that everybody has something that they need to accomplish and do, and you just might need a little help to get that push forward to take action. So that's what the program is really all about, is to really help you to get unstuck and to move forward on whatever it is that you need to do.
And those some of the testimonials that people are saying about your program. And like you said, I know we connected at an event that we did where we both were speakers, but I still remember how you invited me to like a boat party. I mean, and I didn't know you. And I was ready to go. And so that's why I always tell people you do have to change your mindset about how you look at as women, as other women. Because people will say, oh, well, black women can't get along. That is not true.
You came and we were fast friends, weren't we? We were. And it was so good, because that is our relationship that we've made. And then since then, I had that speakers event, and somebody dropped out on me at the last minute, and I was like, well, let me call my girl Kay. See, and
what did I do? I'm ready.
What time? When we leaving? Won't he do it? But that's the thing, because now I've connected to you, and by putting myself in these circles and going to conferences and events and meeting different people, you never know who you're going to meet, who can help you, or you can help, and that's what it's about. You know, you're not always in the receiving mode, but you're open to give and help others. And you never know when you give, you're automatically bound to receive. That's the law of reciprocity. It's going to come back to you.
That's right. And I just believe in, as we've been talking about all night, just reflection. I don't think enough people do self-reflections. Like you said, if you're having problems at work or in your relationship, it's not always the other person, or not only the other person.
Because we all perfect, aren't we? It's like,
Man.
I'm perfect. What's wrong with you?
You know, because remember when we were at the event and I said something like, but God is doing work on him. But then when we left the conference, I was like, well, I think
maybe I'm the one.
I was the one that needed the work.
Yeah.
Because, I got the, you get to crying and, things. Because those are those emotions that we suppress to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm, with your cake.
So we, and I always like to tell people I don't do surface. And I do what I call the 5-minute face. If I can't put my makeup on in 5 minutes, then I'm covering up too much. So that's just how I look at life. I'm not going to cover it up.
It's so funny. I have a 5-minute face too.
I don't have.
Look, I do 3 things, and it's not something I can do every day.
But
It's not sustainable.
But if I got to put on layers and I can't. Because now,
Now we're messing with your sleep time, and we know how you feel about that.
You know how I feel about my sleep. Anyway, that's a whole nother story about, sleep and things like that. But what other messages would you like to send to women who are just struggling, as we were just speaking about image? Because image plays a huge role in our self-esteem and how we feel about ourselves, and if we think we're good enough to pursue our passions.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because you did the pop. You did
the smack.
You did
Oh Lord, the Southeast smack. Oh no. Okay.
That's when you know it's about to get deep when that comes out.
Yes, that's a serious.
Because we don't. Those are the things that we don't talk about. We don't want to talk about why we're suffering, because not to. It's not really getting off topic, but there was for brown girls. What was it, Karen? When she committed suicide, people were like shocked because she, had this platform, but she wasn't. And this is just based on what I've read. She wasn't fully living the platform,
the message.
The message.
You know what? This is one of the things that we have to do. Stop waiting for other people to validate you. You better validate yourself.
Where's Renee's? Where's the bell? Y'all moved the bell?
You need to validate yourself. If you don't look yourself in the mirror, take all your clothes off. Sometimes I walk by, I have a full length mirror. I walk past the mirror and I notice that I'm judging myself. I don't know if it's just me, but have you ever walked past the mirror with not all your clothes on? You're like, girl, what are you doing? And then I had to stop one day. I was like, no, what I'm going to do right now in this moment is I'm going to start telling myself how beautiful
I'd be like,
I am.
hey.
You got about 100 less pounds than me.
Like,
so.
hey.
No, but you have to validate yourself. If you don't like your hips, you better look at your smile, your eyes, your teeth. You better find that asset and start praising yourself for how smart you are. I had to really start. One day I took a stop. People were saying so many great things about me to me, and I had to realize, why I don't even say those things to myself. Why I don't even recognize those things in myself. And so that is when I realized that's why affirmations are so powerful. Take a minute to just tell yourself, you're fabulous. You're great just the way you are. You have everything you need right now to do whatever it is that you've been designed to do. If you needed something else, you would have it. So take action where you are with what you have and keep moving forward. You're beautiful. You were created in the image of God. God didn't create a mess. You might act a mess, and we can work on that, but he didn't create a mess.
Absolutely.
You are perfect just the way you are. So those are the messages you have to continue to remind yourself when because the world's not going to always validate you. And the funny thing is, everybody's always everybody's so busy. You think that people are judging you and looking at you. That is such a lie. You want to know what people are thinking about? Themselves.
Most of the time.
They don't have time to be
that's like
worried
those
about
people when you post something and they swear you talking about them.
You think people are worried about you. Most people are just worried about themselves. So stop beating yourself up, and that comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself. Say that again.
Here's the bell. Thank you, Jacob. That's Renee. I love Renee.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourselves to other people. You comparing yourself to somebody's number 7 to your number 1. Reach the people where you are. I heard this one time and it stuck with me. If you're a 3, then you can reach the 1s and the 2s. If you're a 5, you can reach the 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can count. If you're a, you don't have to be a 10 to reach somebody, because everybody who's a 3, 2, 1, if you're a 4, the 3s, 2s, and 1s are gonna think you're pretty darn cool. If you're even if you're a 1, the 0s are like looking at you like, wow, she got it going on. So you can reach somebody right where you are, and the more you start focusing on what you can do and telling yourself how wonderful you are, and then let me tell you another trick. Can you just tell somebody else how great they are? I think that's one of the other things that people don't do enough.
That's a good one.
Send out a positive message. If you see stop holding your compliments hostage. Girl, they free. Give them out freely. Just share it with everybody. If you like somebody's shoes, tell them their shoes look cute. If somebody says something powerful, let them know. That's how we start to build and affirm each other. It's not going to take any money out of your pocket to say something nice to somebody today.
Absolutely.
It's free. And then once again, it's going to come back to you. And it's going to make you feel good that you did something nice to somebody else. You see how that works?
Because you don't even know that person, that may just be what that person needs at that moment.
It is. And you don't know who you're robbing of that moment. Because you could be somebody else. You could be the aspirin to someone's headache just by saying, you know what, sis, you did an amazing job. Or you know what, you light up this room every time you come in it. I honor that about you. When I look at you, I see some things that I want to do differently. I want to be more positive. I want to spread joy. My assistant at work, one of the things that I love about her, she is herself wherever she goes, and she just lights up a room, and she doesn't change. She's always that way, and I make sure to let her know that I appreciate that about her. Let somebody else know what you appreciate about them. Stop holding them compliments all hostage, like you saving them up for a rainy day.
But no, that's good. That's some
so
good
affirm
advice.
yourself and affirm others. That's the answer.
That's some good advice. So what we're gonna do, because these hours go by so quickly.
They do.
Yes, they go by so quickly. We're gonna get the flyer up again because I want them to know how to find you. The 40 days. Transformation. Yes. So how can they find you? How can they learn more about your program?
Well, one of the things they can do, if you can see the flyer, my number is on there, and my website is butterflybehavior.com. I'm on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Butterfly Behavior. So be sure to follow me, because in the new year I'm going to be doing I'm going to do a 21-day fast, and I'm going to invite other people to join me. It's going to be free. We're going to fast together, because I want this year to be explosive. I want it to be like never before, and I want everything that God has for me, and I want you to have everything that He has for you.
Absolutely.
And so in order to do that, we're going to do a first fruits fast, and that's going to be from January 1st to the 21st. In case you didn't know, that's my first time really telling people publicly, and that's how you move the work forward. Make a commitment out in public to somebody.
Now
I better get it together.
Yeah, that's going to come out.
I wasn't going to do it before, and I was afraid. I'm doing it now.
That's
because I done already.
But that's what you need to do. Sometimes you got to set a firm date and then share it, and then it's like now you got to almost.
Yeah, I like to be a woman of my word. I can't be out here telling you to do what you're supposed to do, and I don't honor my word and honor my own commitment. So once I make a commitment, I don't know who's going to join me, but I'm sure the right people will be a part of the 21-day fast, so that we can give our first fruits to God. And I know that lives will be changed. I know that miracles are going to happen. People are going to receive breakthroughs like never before. And so I'm really excited about that. So at Butterfly Behavior on Butterfly Behavior, and on Instagram, Butterfly Behavior on Facebook. Be sure to like my page. It's free. It won't cost you any money.
Click like. Don't do this. And maybe this is just me. Don't click like and then click unfollow.
Ooh.
Because I noticed if you check your page, it'll say you got, 1,200 followers, 1,200 likes, but only, 1,198 followers. So why like the page if you're not going to follow to get the content?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's my pet peeve. I just, But we're going to end on we're going to end it on a positive note. So what is it that you want to leave? What final words would you like to leave?
There was something that I really wanted to share that was on my spirit to share. I thought about yesterday, and that is stop subscribing to the something for nothing philosophy. You know, I've seen it. Everybody wants to give you 8 tricks and 2 tips and 400 things so that you can make $1 million tomorrow. That's not real life, okay? It takes blood, sweat, tears sometimes, and a lot of tears, and sweat equity, and you moving forward, and it's not an overnight thing.
Did you say sweat equity?
You gotta put that sweat equity in, you know. So I want you to know that, you know, stop looking around and think that it's going to happen overnight. Everybody, I follow the stocks and things, and I'm in different groups. And one of the things that irks my spirit, my pet peeve, people that well, what stock should I buy? You don't have any information. You haven't done that one bit of research. So I'm gonna tell you a stock, and you don't even know how to watch it, to follow it, because I bought it. Do you think that's a good pick for you? Do you know the rule number 1 of investing? Have you read anything about stock? You think, oh, I heard you can make some money doing it, I'm gonna do it. Take the time to educate yourself and really be focused on what it is. If that's what you want to do, really get informed about that particular thing before you just jump in and try to be like, okay, I can get rich quick. Right. And that kind of mindset is going to leave you limited and lack, and you will never receive the abundance that is out there in the universe for you, because you're always chasing the next greatest thing that's going to get you rich quick. You know, sometimes you just got to do the work. As my girl Yala says, do the work.
I love her. I love her, Yala. Well, that our time is up. You're going to have to come back. We're going to have to come back with our crew. So our Profile to Triumph crew. But we're about to end with my song, and it's the song that you like to share at the beginning of some of your presentations. It's how I end the show each and every week. So whatever it is, guys, that you want to do, you know my philosophy. You have to get up and go get it. And I'll see you guys. No, I would not see you guys live for the next 2 weeks. I will be island hopping for 10 days. So at any rate, we're going to replay some awesome shows, and I'll be back live on December the 20th. So with that said, good night and enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you for coming.
It's like you're looking through a telescope. You see where you're gonna be. Growing, getting better. You're not the person they see. Can't be mad at the things you